Hi, wrestling fans. Thanks for clicking the dreaded D-Rose report. Sorry about the lack of updates this week. I'll put a picture on here sometime. I've been working on my car. Just got it painted. I painted it myself, and I've only done one other car with some body work and paint. And I did the best I can, but I'll show you how it came out later. I still got to take the tape off and all that. But anyway, been busy. Back to some wrestling. And there hasn't been really too much all going on, but if you got the network, you haven't seen Takeover, the NXT, Takeover Brooklyn, it is fantastic. About 2 hours, 20 minutes. Great wrestling. Just every match was. And, of course, the two Diva matches, or whatever you want to call them there, the women's match, it was fantastic. All right, Tuesday's Tough Enough finale actually made the Nielsen Twitter TV ratings, placed by, it was like number 3, right behind America's Got Talent and Hard Knocks. Tough Enough had about 430,000 people tweeting about the show. Raw had about 4,900,000, well, about 3 million people tweeting about it. Alex Riley is preparing to return from his knee surgery that he had back in May. Triple H is usually the one producing the NXT announcers for the live show, while Michael Cole helps out sometimes. But the commentary on this week's NXT TV show was usually done in post-production, so it's more current, and Cole usually helps out on producing that. So what you may see the people at ringside but announcing, but they may not be saying what they're saying. It's rumored back in 2013 that actor Liev Schreiber would be playing Chris Benoit in a movie called Crossface. Well, anyway, it's noted this week that Wrestling Observer letter said the Schreiber has been announced for the movie, but hasn't seen any confirmation on it yet. But it's a weird deal, because it says here that that the movie is reportedly being produced by SRG Films and is a adaptation of Matt Randazzo, his book called Ring of Hell book. Not sure whether the Ring of Hell book, don't know anything about that, whether it's was made on Chris Benoit's life or not, but whoever plays Chris Benoit is going to have to be in pretty good shape. And regarding Monday's Miz TV segment with Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Paige, this kind of got botched. But the whole idea was to show tension between the three divas, and due to a supple tease of breaking them up, as they all want a title shot against the Diva champion, Nikki Bella, but it kind of got messed up. So anyway, regarding Brock Lesnar returning to WWE's October 3rd Madison Square Garden event, there will be, which will air, by the way, on the network. His opponent has not been named, but they kind of maybe thinks that he might be facing Bo Dallas. That's not a for sure fact, but in an update on NXT talent, how they get paid, when WWE calls NXT talent to the main roster, they reportedly pay all road expenses for the first 90 days until the talent is then full-time. So it don't say how much. That's kind of the way it works. Ric Flair recently noted on his Woo Nation podcast, Randy Orton is looking for a lighter WWE work schedule going forward, and apparently Orton is looking for a schedule similar to what Shawn Michaels had at one time, where he would work for a while and then have a significant time off again. RVD's been doing that for quite a while. He was like working there 30 days, gone 30 days, so he was never going to win a title that way, though. Unless he won it right away and then held it for 30 days. No, wait a minute. I think he was there for 90 days, RVD was. And then off 90. But he's been off more than 90 now. Mark Henry is currently on his way to India to do promotional work for WWE. Apparently they can't find Khali. I don't know where he is. Oxford Dictionary has released their own annual list of pop culture words added to their dictionary, and kayfabe has made it this year. Now, they wrote about kayfabe, says probably not familiar with those outside of the world of pro wrestling, but the term kayfabe refers to the the fact or convention of presenting a stage performance is as genuine or authentic. Got it? Anyway, the word originally the word is kind of uncertain, although it's often said that it arises in American traveling carnivals. The word has been interpreted by some as an altercation of being fake, backwards, things like that. But then it could be a form of Pig Latin. Regarding T-shirts that WWE and Stephen Amell collaborated on for SummerSlam to benefit Emily's House charity, the actual amount that's going to the charity is $228,000. Raised a lot of that in Toronto too. Alexis Bliss taking on Blue Pants will take place next week on NXT. And the post that has been deleted, but Xavier Woods wrote on his personal Facebook page that a whole Raw segment from singing the New Day version of Sinatra's New York, New York, to putting out through a table at the Dudleys was one of the best moments of his life. He said, that's over. And by the way, the other day, Vince McMahon turned 70, and he announced on Twitter that he posted a message saying, "I am truly the blessed and without a doubt the luckiest man in the world. Hashtag birthday boy." NXT General Manager William Regal announced the other night that there's going to be a Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic tournament going to be kicking off next week. Their opening match will be Rhino and Baron Corbin taking on the Ascension. Whatever happened to the Ascension, come to think of it? We know that Samoa Joe and NXT champion Finn Balor taking on Lucha Dragons was previously taped for the tournament, and it appears Neville and Breeze also getting partnered up too, so that'll be coming up soon. And regarding Rey Mysterio possibly returning to WWE, the Wrestling Observer newsletter notes that there has been casual, insignificant talks between the two sides. I don't know what that means, but Rey is expected to sign a deal with Lucha Underground and still be able to work indies with the Lucha Underground up in the future, but whole situation, it could change any time. All right, here's today's news. Topaz, that's a caller on the info line, did you see at the beginning of the show? She mentioned that she was at SmackDown taping the other day, Tuesday, I guess, and said that after the show was done taping, Rollins and Ambrose had a fight in the ring. I don't know if they had a match, but they had a fight. And while Dean was heading backstage, a fan jumped the barrier and got himself in a bunch of trouble. She said it was a great show, had a good time. And regarding reports that WWE signed one indie women's wrestler, Athena, who was trained by Booker T and Sandar Akbar, she reposted the story on her Facebook page saying that she has signed with the company. All right, a video from a Canadian radio station of Hall of Famer Road Warrior Animal, did promote the Great North Wrestling. That's what he was there for. Anyway, Animal noted that he still keeps in shape and trains for the ring and still could wrestle. But when his partner Hawk passed away in 2003, he decided to hang up the tights. And it's always good to be in shape in or out of the ring. So take your vitamins, say your, well, wait a minute, I shouldn't say that no more. All right. When you are succeeding, everyone talks about you and your success, good or bad. Don't believe everything you read. That's what Nikki Bella said on Twitter. I don't know what somebody must have said something about her. But okay. The Rock's cousin, Nia Jax, maybe that's what it is. Formerly Lena Finney, will be debuting in WWE's NXT TV soon. WWE is looking to build her up as a huge monster like Awesome Kong that's over in TNA now. Or Karma. And I hope she stays around a lot longer than she did. Alright, note before that several New Japan Pro Wrestling officials and talents, they were backstage in New York for the 3-day shows that they had there. And I think they're going to be hiring some. No word yet on Nikki Bella, who she's going to defend her title against at Night of Champions. It's kind of expected maybe it's going to be Charlotte. We'll find out. And regarding the screwy finish, I say screwy finish, that Brock Lesnar Undertaker had at SummerSlam last Sunday, Vince McMahon felt, let's just blame him, he felt like Undertaker had to win this match because it would be even then. But he didn't want Lesnar to be beaten straight up. So the decision was for the Undertaker to be the winner, and they had to. It was all about trying to figure out a way to have Taker win without actually beating Lesnar. So this is what they came up with, the finish that went down. Saw a lot of NXT Rich Brennan on WWE programming on SummerSlam this week, and now he's been promoted to lead announcer for SmackDown. I don't know what. Who was over on SmackDown? Lillian, wasn't she? Well, ring announcer, I guess. Surely he's not going to be put in front of Jerry Lawler. Tyler Breeze, Baron Corbin will be on the road with WWE main roster this week, which is great. And after SummerSlam, there was a backstage talk about Stephen Amell, which I mentioned last week. He said this was going to be a one and done. Well, they got talk going on. He possibly may return to WWE down the line to work singles match with Stardust. Amell notes on Twitter that he's working on his in-ring work in case there's a rematch, and Stardust issued a statement in response, which Amell replied to. He says, working on my ring wind, just in case somebody can't come to grips with the fact that they lost. Hey, thanks for clicking, you guys. I gotta go.